if they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they become yani good abd, obedient of Allah, we open the door of every provision for them.
Do I feel that the New York police are providing enough protection, or do I have to have protection of my own? I look for protection from Allah.
Yeah, you are right that you are referring to hadith, which is actually giving us a very, very special or very, I can say, universal warning for Muslim and non-Muslim. And Muslim or the oppressed is not only Muslim, any person. Anything which we violate its, her or his right, and we do something which is not due to do it. So Rasulullah said when this hadith, so other part of hadith is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he listened this call coming very quick to heaven, he said, yes, I will respond, but may I give time. I have it, I will take this, my decision will come later. So it means, for example, sometimes it seems to us that Muslim is suffering, nothing is happening, nobody is responding, and a lot of casualties happening, but nothing is coming. But it not means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not watching it or not monitoring it, but the only thing is when the due time is to respond it. And three, four things I will try to explain to cover this idea. The first thing is that this world is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is Lord, He is the creator, He is nourisher, He is providing everything for us. And we are giving two positions in this universe. First thing, to Lord, we're supposed to be abd, obedient. Yani our whole life supposed to be as submitting ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His commandments. The second position is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us as a trustee on this universe. So we're supposed to use it in a better way and proper way, and not to corrupt it, and not to misuse it, and not to hijack others' rights and others' properties, and to keep in our pocket, right? Because the system is supposed to be balancing system. When I give you the ayah which says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when we created this universe, we took 4 days to put provisions. Yeah, arba'at ayyamin sawa'an lis-sa'ilin. We put this provision, it's supposed to be distributed equally to every person. So inequality among that provision distribution is one of the worst corruption, which is, for example, causing for the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can say, these kind of a pandemic and things. The second issue is also coming, this thing, that vulgar lifestyle. We have lost our values, right? And the sin is always existing in human life, but the worst part of sin is when person feel proud about it and invite people to it and defend it. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah said in one hadith, kullu ummati mu'afan illa al-mujahirun. Every person will be forgiven except those who do vulgar thing openly and they feel proud it. The third issue is also, it's related to Muslims. The Muslims have two problems in their own internal lifestyle. One is divisions, right? They are, for example, divided, even under the name of Islam, different religious groups, different sects, and so on. And second thing is that as a Muslim population, where they have some kind of power to implement Islamic rules, they are, for example, opposing it. Not only, I can say, ignoring it, but opposing it. So all these circumstances, I can say that all these circumstances actually become so explosive that now, for example, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows a very, very tiny army of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is invisible. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through this virus. And now what happened? Two things actually proven. One thing is that whatever system you developed, most advanced and most, what you can say, complicated, but it has nothing to for example, counter it and to face it. The second issue is actually the biggest issue, which is you are talking about it, and I come to that point. All systems and ideologies, they are talking about human, right? They say we are serving humanity. We are loving humanity is bigger to everything, right? And human equality, human rights, and human this and this. But you can see that the system is totally using the name, but they are doing their own agenda, right?
Yes.
And human
Yes.
being is nowhere. Human being is nowhere. Powerful people is everywhere, right? And have people, they have everywhere. Have not is nothing. So you can say that this is the time when you are raising the slogan of humanity. It is most, I can say, suffering time for humanity. Why it is happening? Why it is happening? Because we are ignoring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we ignore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so divine right protect human right. So when we defend Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala right, Allah give us ability to serve humanity.
Yes.
And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exposed. So what you are saying, they are now forced to do many things which is they're supposed to do, but they are doing without their own intention, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the example in Quran when they lost hope. The last resort is always Allah, right? They open door for it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asking us to do it willingly. So if we do the thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. If they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they become good abd, obedient of Allah, we open the door of every provision for them.
Yes.
So this whole world is suffering, even those who are causing it or those who are not causing it. But there are lessons. There are good lessons to understand it, but I fear that these people will manipulate again, right? And they bring another system, just changing corrupt with corrupt. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually giving us chance, and this is the duty of Muslims to come forward and to present their system, that our system is foolproof. Our system is really serving humanity. And our system is really deserved for solving all problems which are not solved by any system.
Do I feel that the New York police are providing enough protection, or do I have to have protection of my own? I look for protection from Allah.